हेलो एवरीवन, स्वागत है आपका हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल में। आज हम आपके लिए फिर से एक नया वीडियो लेके आए हैं। तो वीडियो को शुरू करने से पहले अगर आपने हमारा चैनल अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो चैनल को ज़रूर से ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन दबाना बिल्कुल मत भूलें, ताकि हम कोई भी नया वीडियो लाएँ उसका नोटिफिकेशन आपको तुरंत मिल जाए। वीडियो को अंत तक ज़रूर देखिएगा। अगर आपको हमारा वीडियो पसंद आता है तो एक लाइक और कमेंट ज़रूर करिएगा। तो चलिए वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। आज हम आपके लिए जो टॉपिक लेके आए हैं उसका नाम है कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। द सक्सेस ऑफ एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल हाईली डिपेंड्स अपॉन इट्स गवर्नेंस सिस्टम। गवर्नेंस सिस्टम मीन्स द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, laws and orders, policies and procedures, customs and duties followed by any corporation or company for its smooth working, that is known as corporate governance. An organizational can be controlled and directed appropriately only of its governance system. If its governance system is effective, which is generally carried by board of directors. Corporate governance is not only beneficial for the company, but it is also beneficial for the peoples working within it and for the society also with which they are related. It focuses on proper utilization of the resource and the way they should taken care of. The main purpose of corporate governance is to maintain the equilibrium between economic and social objective of the organization, which further help in balancing individual and societal goals. According to Rafael Laporta, corporate governance is defined as a system by which companies are directed and controlled. So let's talk about the features of corporate governance. Nature of corporate governance can be understood by the following points. First one is ethical by nature. The ethical values followed by the companies have a great influence on the corporate governance. Thus, board of directors should always remain fair and unbiased to maintain healthy ethical environment within the organizations. Second one is wider scope. Nowadays, corporate governance is being used by almost all the companies throughout the world. It has been legally recognized around the world. Thus, it can be said that corporate governance system has become universally applicable system. Third one is systematic. Corporate governance is a methodological as it mainly emphasizes on rules, regulation, laws, practices, etc. that are followed by any company. Since these laws are established for the benefit of the stakeholder, thus they must be followed sincerely and honestly. Fourth one is represent business decisions. Corporate governance include ethical and moral values adopted by an organizations, depending upon which decisions are made by the organization. Thus, the companies having effective governance system not only take legalized and morally appropriate decisions, but also it benefit their investor by handling their investment carefully. Next one is it is the integral part of the contract. People dealing or having any sort of contract with any company give great importance to its governance systems. Effective governance system not only help in economic prosperity of a company, but also increases the trust of a customer in that company. The last one is lead to smooth function of the market. Good corporate governance is an indicator of the market development as it help in its smooth functioning and further result in economic prosperity of business of the entire business world. So now let's talk about the scope. What is the scope of corporate governance? Sorry. Corporate governance has following scope. First one is auditor. The role played by external auditor in corporate governance is very important. The tradition of appointing auditor by the stakeholder on their own is being followed since 19th century. Since these auditors are also known to the stakeholders, the chances of misuse and misrepresentation of report is minimized. Nowadays, stakeholders are appoint professional auditor to review the report given to them by their directors. Next one is stock market. Stock market and the list of rules are essential to make the governance system of the public and listed companies. These rules are not only mention the requirement for being one of the listed companies, but also govern the companies in the stock market. Not only domestically, the stock market have become important worldwide as they help in developing governance code for the companies all over the world. Third one is shareholder or institutional investors. Shareholder in the form of investors, stakeholder, etc., and their relation with the company is also one of the crucial element of corporate governance. Earlier in corporate governance, there was a direct interaction between the shareholder and the company since all the shares belong to individual shareholder, but in modern corporate world, intermediaries have a significant role in governance. Next one is government. Laws and order, rules and regulation passed by the government have a great influence on the governance systems of the companies. Corporate governance turns out to be effective only if the relation between the government and the company is healthy. The established laws facilitate the companies to carry out their activities with the legal boundaries. Registering the companies, keeping record of relevant corporate documents, revising various companies act, etc. are some of the functions performed by the government to develop an effective governance system. Fifth one is regulatory authority. In order to scrutinize the activity of the stock market and the compliance of the governance rules, most of the companies have started appointing corporate regulators. These supervisory bodies are responsible to ensure the obedience of governance codes set by the company. Last one is contractual stakeholders. Stakeholders having contractual relation with the companies are known as contractual stakeholders. These stakeholders include employees, dealers, suppliers, contractor, distributor, wholesaler, retailer, consumer, etc. These contractual stakeholders are also considered as an important element of corporate governance. Beside all these elements, media has also started playing an important role in corporate governance, especially in investigative media. They focus on various business affairs and activities carried out by the companies, which indirectly influence the governance systems of the company. So now let's talk about the need of corporate governance. Corporate governance is an essential part of every organization and its importance can be realized in the following points. First one is globalization. Increasing globalization has brought great advancement in the business world. With the increasing globalization, challenges for the corporate sector have increased. To face these challenges and to overcome them, companies need to have effective and efficient corporate governance system. Using international standard instead of traditional principle can help the companies to become more professional and face the upcoming challenges confidently. Next one is adapting change. Increasing competition domestically as well as international has changed the economic environment of the companies to a great extent. In order to survive in this changing environment, companies need to have good governance system. Companies need to realize their priorities and establish new policies and principles for the accomplishment of desired goal. Third one is to increase credibility. Rapid changes in business world have created a lot of obstacles for the people working in various companies. Since the investors are the main source of capital formation, shareholding patterns are changing frequently to create profit for both companies as well as the investors. Thus, to overcome these obstacles and to increase their credibility, companies need to have a proper governance system. Next one is transparency to stakeholders. People investing in company expect transparency and accountability from the company for all the transactions carried out by them. Company must prioritize the interest of their investor and for that proper governance should be maintained. This governance system may include certain laws that can help in protecting the interest of the investors. And the last one is benefit to the stakeholder. An effective governance system always focus on profit maximization not only for the company but also for the stakeholders. A company should understand the worth of its shareholder and try to increase their wealth, which is only possible with a good corporate governance systems. So now let's talk about the objectives of the corporate governance. First one is strengthen the confidence. Good corporate governance system ensure high profit to its investor, which increase their confidence and reliability for the company. Next one is transparency. Beside the fulfillment of legal policies, effective governance system gives equal importance to transparency between the stakeholder and the company's management. This helps in increasing the trustworthiness of the companies and create the greater profit for the investor. Third one is balanced board. Corporate governance ensures that the board consists of equal number of non-executive and independent directors so that the decision taken by them are unbiased and in the interest of the investor. Fourth one is clarity of policies and procedure. Good governance system take care of that the policies and procedure followed by the board are transparent enough so that each and every transaction carried out is clear to both the companies as well as the investors. Fifth one is relevant information to shareholder. It ensures that all the relevant information regarding the growth and development of the companies is provided to the shareholder by the board. Next one is vision of the board. Good governance system observes the long-term vision of the board in the interest of the company and the steps taken by them to make wealth for its stakeholders. Next one is investment tool. Good governance system encourages the investor for long-term investment by making capital market more efficient and profitable. Next one is resolving tool. Governance system is an effective tool to resolve any conflict or clash that may arise between the stakeholder and the member of the company, especially when the conflict are related to their personal interest. Next one is utilization of resource. Good governance system focus at proper utilization of resource available within the company. Efficient use of company's asset help in increasing the productivity, which in turn benefit the stakeholder to the maximum degree. The last one is developing trust. Corporate governance is an effective way of building the trust of the stakeholder in the capabilities of the company. So now let's talk about the essentials of corporate governance. Good governance should address all the issues that lead to a value addition for the organizations and serves the interest of all the stakeholders. Essential of corporate governance, or you can say the pillars of corporate governance, are as follows. First one is transparency and disclosure. Organizations should be transparent to those who rely on them and trust them, especially the stakeholder. In organizational terms, the transparency means direct and clear relationship between the company and the stakeholders. The policies of the companies, the decision taken by the management and the activities carried out within the company should be openly discussed with its employees as well as the investors. The disclosure of relevant and appropriate information not only familiarize the stakeholder with the structure, working policies and performance of the companies, but also to enable them to use their voting rights in an appropriate and effective way. While in the disclosure of any information, the company must ensure that whenever data is given to the stakeholders should not be at cost of the company's interest. Next one is fairness. Organization can maintain the fairness by providing all relevant and accurate data to the stakeholder that can be easily understood and accessed by them. Enabling the stakeholder to exercise their right effectively, protecting their right from getting violated, treating all them equally and respecting their right and decision, and also depict the organizational even-handedness. Fairness on the part of organization means prioritizing the interest of the investor and providing them with appropriate freedom of making their own decisions. Most of the corporate governance system believe that organization considered as unbiased only if the interest of its stakeholder and employee is not harmed at any cost. Next one is responsibility and answerability. Both responsibility and answerability are the integral part of every organizations. The accountability of the organization management is not limited to themselves or the promoter or shareholder only, but also to the society outside its premises. Organization need to play the role of dutiful citizen and give equal consideration to the interest of both the stakeholder as well as the society. Thus, the organization must take effective measures to improve their values and policies in the interest of people living in the society. One of the most effective measures is corporate governance system, as this system not only consider the benefit of the company or the shareholder, but it also give the equal importance to the interest of the employees, client, partners, producer, manufacturer, etc., which are known as stakeholders. Next one is trusteeship. Most of the large companies aim at accomplishment of both social as well as economic objectives. The concept of trusteeships involve the assurance of equity among all shareholders and protecting their right without giving consideration to whether the right are small or large. Combination of interest of shareholder, employee, banks, creditor, investor, insurance, etc. is an important part of corporate governance. Generally, the property is handed over to such a person who can manage it properly and act as an administrator, keeping in mind the trust of other person is showing in him for taking care of his property. Next one is empowerment. It is considered as an integral part of corporate governance. It focuses on understanding the capabilities of its employee and increasing their strength in order to make the organization progressive. Empowered is the method of strengthening any individual spirituality, politically, socially, educationally, and economically. Organizations adopting empowerment are more creative and innovative and believe in the appropriate utilization and application of their decision-making power. Empowerment along with the accountability not only result in better and effective performance but also increases the shareholder value. Next one is control. Another important element of corporate governance is control. Here, controls imply providing freedom to the management with a check over their activities so that they do not misuse their power. A proper control system in an organization help in receiving active response from the management, which further help in managing the upcoming business risks effectively. Since any decision regarding to be taken in order to accomplish organizational goal is generally taken by the board of directors. Thus, it is the sole responsibility of board to develop and maintain highly effective risk management and control system. Next and the last one is ethical corporate citizenship. Corporate governance gives major consideration to ethical behavior of an organization. As such, behavior not only help in maintain healthy culture within the organization but also enhance the stakeholder values. Following merely laws and regulation does not prove an organization as an ethical corporate citizen. Organizations are said to be ethical if it is also focuses on making the life of the people of the society qualitative and better so that they can become self-reliant. Thus, the ethical code established by the organization should be followed both internally and externally. So now let's talk about the constituent of corporate governance. Corporate governance consists of three main constituents which are as follows. First one is board of director. In most of the organization, maximum number of decision is taken by board of director. Thus, the decision regarding corporate governance such as establishment of strategies and objective, implementation of these strategies, management and supervision of activities carried out under this corporate governance and periodic assessment of the progress made by the company, etc. is carried out by the board of director. Board of directors are also responsible for the transparency and informing the investor and shareholder about the each and every issue going on in the company. Next one is stakeholders. In corporate governance, stakeholders are mainly responsible for appointing the director and auditors so that whatever is happening within the company is apparent to them. Since shareholder and investor are an integral part of the company, thus they have the right to inquire and receive relevant information about the activities carried out by the member of the company and development of the company. The last one is management. The role of management in corporate governance is to follow the command given by the board of directors. That is to manage and supervise the task and operation carried out by the employees and to report the board about activities taking place on timely basis. The role played by management make them accountable for the entire working of the governance systems. So now let's talk about the theories of corporate governance. First theory is agency theory. Under this theory, the manager acts as an agent of the organization and the shareholder are the principal of the corporation. Management is required to carry the operation on the behalf of the shareholder, hence this is known as the agency theory. Hence board of director are agent and shareholder are the principals. The shareholder appoint board of director as their agent to perform the functions, while board of director delegate their responsibilities to CEO and management. The agent is required to work in the best interest of this principle of the management must protect the concern of the investor and not of their own, and this is known as the principle of good faith. Next one is stewardship theory. The steward is the person who look the properties of other. This theory is based on the value of the manager act like a guardian of the corporation or investor. It propounds that manager and board of director aim at maximizing the return for the shareholder even if they are not supervised. They will manage the asset of the organization in the best possible manner and try to generate the higher profits for the organizations. They believe that maximizing return for the shareholder and the company will earn profit, which means that their salaries and benefit will increase eventually. Thus, instead of thinking individually goals, manager focus on cooperative profits. Next one is stakeholder theory. Here the organization is considered to be an input-output model and taking care of all the parties that are affected by the company's operation. The various stakeholders of the companies are supplier, government, customer, employee, and investors. Under this theory, not only the shareholder are the stakeholder, but also above mentioned parties, as they have also some self-interest. The manager under this theory work as a mediator between various stakeholders and try to preserve the interest of all these stakeholders. This theory is based on the assumption that all parties have harmony with each other and the manager are competent in negotiation. Thus, manager plays an integral role in managing and promoting the interest of various stakeholders. Next theory is resource dependency theory. This theory stresses upon the role of board or director in providing sufficient and appropriate resource required by the organization. In order to fulfill this demand, the board of directors even use their external source and connections. This theory believes that resource dependency includes the appointment of such peoples who belong to autonomous organization so that the resource essential for the success of organizational can be easily organized and achieved. Next theory is transaction cost theory. This theory was based on three major elements. That is law, organization, and economy. According to this theory, large companies have started substituting the marketplace in case of appropriate allocation of resource. Besides this, such companies also include people with different viewpoint and objective. The company adopt this theory consider their manager as opportunist who organizes the transaction of the companies. This theory also believes that the determination of the price and production of any company depend upon its structure transaction that is used as a unit of analysis. Next theory is political theory. It brings the approach of developing voting support from shareholder rather than purchasing voting power. Hence, having a political influence in corporate governance may direct corporate governance within the organization. Public interest is much reserved as the government participate in corporate decision making taking into consideration cultural challenges the political model highlight allocation of corporate power, profit and privilege are determined via government favor. And the last theory is ethics theory of corporate governance. These are concerned with what type of governance which is essentially justified and is based upon fairness and justice for all the parties. Ethical corporate governance distinguish between right and wrong and concentrate on the right type of governance without hate or harm. So that's what I have tell you about the corporate governance, its features, elements, and the theories of corporate governance. If you feel any difficulty in any of the slides, you are free to comment me in the comment box. I will also try to resolve your issue. And if you like my video, please press the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.